Welcome to Wisdom Trek with Gramps. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, and we are on day 2288 of our trek. The purpose of Wisdom Trek is to create a legacy of wisdom, to seek out discernment and insights, and to boldly grow where few have chosen to grow before. In today's Wisdom Nugget, I'll guide you through the vast landscape of biblical wisdom. It's a joy to have you join me on this journey. Today, our exploration takes us into the profound insights of Proverbs chapter 21, verses 25 through 31. From the New Living Translation. As we dive into these verses, let's seek the timeless wisdom that can guide us in understanding the consequences of unchecked desires, the impact of God's sovereignty on human plans, and the importance of preparation and reliance on God in our pursuits. So without further delay, it's time to head out and delve into the wisdom of Proverbs. Verse 25. Despite their desires, the lazy will come to ruin, for their hands refuse to work. This verse paints a vivid picture of the consequences of unchecked desires coupled with laziness. How can we understand the dangers of a desire when paired with lack of diligence? Well, we need to pair our desires with diligence and then recognize the dangers of unchecked desires when it is combined with laziness. We need to pair our desires with diligence and hard work, understanding that the lazy will come to ruin. Cultivate a work ethic that aligns with your aspirations, knowing that sustained efforts will lead to success. Now let's explore verse 26. Some people are always greedy for more, but the godly love to give. This verse contrasts a constant pursuit for more with the godly virtue of generosity. How can we cultivate a heart of generosity amid a world that's clamorous for more? Well, it's up to us to cultivate that heart of generosity and then recognize the contrast between those who are always greedy for more and the godly who love to give. Cultivate a heart of generosity, understanding that true fulfillment comes from giving rather than constantly seeking more. Choose to be a source of blessing to others, aligning your heart with the godly virtue of generosity. Now verse 27 continues with the reflection on the consequences of neglecting the cries of the poor. The sacrifice of an evil person is detestable, especially when it's offered with the wrong motives. This verse underscores the detestable nature of sacrifices offered by those with evil motives. How can we ensure that our acts of worship and service are offered with pure motives? We need to offer worship with pure motives and recognize the importance of pure motives as your acts of worship and service. Understand that the sacrifice of an evil person is detestable, especially when it's offered with wrong motives. Examine your heart and intentions, seeking to offer worship and service with sincerity and a genuine desire to please God. Now let's turn our attention to verse 28. A false witness will be cut off, but a credible witness will be allowed to speak. This verse contrasts the fate of a false witness with the credibility afforded to a truthful one. How can we cultivate a reputation of credibility and truthfulness in our words? It takes work, but we need to cultivate credibility and truthfulness by recognizing the consequences of being a false witness and the value placed on a credible witness. Cultivate a reputation of credibility and trustworthiness in your words and actions. Choose to speak the truth, knowing that a credible witness will be allowed to speak, and that integrity builds that foundation of trust. Now verse 29 speaks of the consequences of the wicked. The wicked bluff their way through, but the virtuous think before they act. This verse highlights the contrasting approaches of the wicked and the virtuous in their actions. How can we emulate the virtue of thinking before we act in our daily lives? We need to make it a practice to think before we act and recognize the contrasting approaches of the wicked who bluff their way through and the virtuous who think before they act. Cultivate the virtue of thoughtful consideration in your actions, seeking wisdom and discernment before making decisions. Choose to emulate the virtuous, knowing that thinking before you act is a hallmark of wise living. Now let's explore verse 30. No human wisdom or understanding or plan can stand against the Lord. This verse emphasizes the supremacy of God's wisdom and understanding over human plans. How can we align our plans with the sovereignty of God? Well, to do that, we need to align our plans with God's sovereignty by recognizing the supremacy of God's wisdom and understanding over our human plans. Align your plans with the Lord and submitting your aspiration to His sovereign will. Choose to acknowledge that no human wisdom or understanding can stand against the Lord and trust in His perfect plan for your life. Now, verse 31 concludes the reflection and preparation on reliance on God. The horse is prepared for the day of battle, but victory belongs to the Lord. This verse illustrates the importance of preparation while acknowledging that ultimate victory does belong to the Lord. How can we balance our effort in preparation with the reliance of God's ultimate success? We need to fix our mind and then prepare and rely on God by recognizing the importance of preparation in our endeavors, understanding that the horse is prepared for the day of battle. However, maintain a humble reliance on God, acknowledging that ultimate victory belongs to Him. Choose to invest your efforts in preparation while trusting in God's guidance and sovereignty for ultimate success. And there you have it, my friends. Insight from Proverbs chapter 21, verses 25 through 31. These verses offer us timeless wisdom in pairing desire with diligence, cultivating a heart of generosity, offering worship with pure motives, cultivating credibility and truthfulness, thinking before we act, aligning our plans with God's sovereignty, and balancing preparation with reliance on God. As we continue our journey through the pages of the Bible, remember that the wisdom it offers is our guiding light in navigating the complexities of life. Until the next time, keep seeking God's wisdom and make it part of your daily trek. And if you found this podcast insightful, please subscribe and leave us a review. Then encourage your friends and family to join us and come along with us tomorrow for another day of Wisdom Trek, creating a legacy. Thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide, your mentor, and most importantly, I am your friend as I serve you through the Wisdom Trek podcast and journal. As we take this trek of life together, let us always live abundantly, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, lend to others generously, lead with integrity, and leave a living legacy each day. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, reminding you to keep moving forward, enjoy your journey, and create a great day every day. See you next time for more daily wisdom.